Hi, my name is Simon Liu and I am your friend in real estate here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. The goal of this channel is to become your most trusted and reliable source of information about real estate in and around Vancouver. We aim to provide you with the most up-to-date, most interesting and relevant information that you need to know about for your next move. If you are thinking about making a move to Vancouver and its surrounding areas, my team and I would love the opportunity to be interviewed to be your realtor. We have helped close to 1,000 families happily move up, down, and around over the last 19 years. I invite you to send me an email to info@happyhomesvancouver.com or a text message to 778-688-6838. Let us help you find your happy home. When I was old enough to start living on my own, my mind naturally gravitated towards the place where all of the action was at the time. I wanted to live downtown, where I would be in the center of it all. I first moved into Yaletown and lived there quite comfortably for a year. It was a nice quiet area that was just a stone's throw from the seawall, but it cost a lot. I was renting at the time and I knew that I was just throwing money out the window. So I wanted to move somewhere else where I wouldn't have to pay as much and still live where I wanted to. I found that I can pay a lot less if I moved a few blocks into the downtown area on Davie and Seymour and still be very close to the seawall. But the trade-off was the noise and congestion. Knowing that my priority was my wallet, I accepted the inconvenience and enjoyed the rest of my time in downtown. I got to experience the Olympics in 2010 and the Canucks Cup run in 2011 from this home, so I have no regrets. However, no matter if I was living in Yaletown or downtown, I found that I was always moving towards another neighborhood. Whether I was rollerblading along the seawall or out for an evening stroll, I found that I always ended up in the West End. So what was drawing me there? For starters, you've got Stanley Park, the beaches, restaurants, and basically everything within walking distance. The side streets are beautifully lined with trees, it looks cleaner and it feels safer. It's perfect if you value downtown energy, West Coast scenery, and being in the middle of it all without being in the middle of downtown. So if lifestyle was my top priority, there's no contest. I'm moving to the West End. But what happens when the late night noise of downtown starts to feel less like energy and more like a headache? That's exactly when I looked here. At some point, if you're like me when I went through it, your priorities start to change. I'd been a real estate agent for a number of years at that point when it happened to me. I started thinking about moving away from downtown and into an area that made more sense for my lifestyle as a busy realtor. A big part of a realtor's life is driving around and spending time in the car. Living downtown might be nice if you can stay in one spot, but coming and going can become a bit of a nightmare if you do it long enough. I found myself staying out longer every passing week just to try to be efficient. I started considering other options, and the one area I kept going back to was Mount Pleasant. Full disclosure, a part of my youth was spent here, so there was some familiarity playing into my preference. I can tell you stories of my youth growing up there, and you would think I'm describing a scene from 8 Mile, but a lot has changed since. What I like about the area is that it's central, it's walkable, and at the time, was becoming the trendy neighborhood you see today. You're still close enough to downtown, but also away from the bottlenecks of traffic there. With the new subway opening, transit is easy. Shops and parks are everywhere, and my favorite lunchtime sushi joint, Carp Sushi and Bowl, is right in the neighborhood. It's one of those communities where people live for the long term and not just passing through in their lives. It's safe, vibrant, and practical. The kind of place that you don't have to overthink your day-to-day life. And honestly, that's underrated. Most people think the perfect family neighborhood has to be the most expensive one. I disagree. Here's the hidden gem I'd pick instead. Fast forward to my current lifestyle as a busy realtor and a family man with kids. If I were to move today, I would be looking for an area that offers good schools, clean parks, safe and bright streets. There are many great options in Vancouver, such as the Cambie Corridor, Point Grey, or a hidden gem on the east side in the Renfrew Heights area. But for me, the area around Killarney and Fraserview makes a lot of sense. It's not flashy, and when you are looking for a neighborhood to raise a family, that's kind of the point. The schools in this area are consistently ranked high. The community center was rebuilt for the Olympics back in 2010. And the best treat of all for this area, if you're an avid golfer like me, is the proximity to nearby golf courses at Fraserview and Riverway. It's the kind of community that quietly holds its value because families want to stay here. It is close enough to shops along Kingsway and offers easy access towards the east and south. You move here for generous lot sizes, the established neighborhoods structure, and the versatility of being close to Burnaby and Richmond. While my own journey did not lead my family and I to this area, I have shown a lot of homes here. And if I had to do it again, Killarney and Fraserview would definitely be on my short list. Here's the one thing most people get wrong about downsizing and why picking the wrong street could cost you your independence later. One day, we are all going to have to give up the family home in favor of a smaller, more efficient space and money in the bank. The process of downsizing is a topic we'll discuss at a later date, but which area I would downsize to is what we will focus on here. There are many places in the city we can move to that are friendly towards senior living. When I was young, I imagined that I would want to live in a north-facing home in Cole Harbour across from Stanley Park so that I could spend my later days gazing out the window at the Burrard Inlet with the park and North Shore Mountains in the backdrop. Then I became a realtor and have become quite allergic to traffic due to being part of it for half of my day every day. Over the years, I've had the privilege of assisting many seniors with their own downsizing process and have learned what it actually looks like from their eyes. It's definitely not the glamorous life I once thought, but it's more subtle and many considerations for the area need to be planned for. The area needs to be calm. The streets can't be too steep or uneven because walking becomes challenging at some point. Shops and services need to be close by because one day driving may not even be an option. I personally would like to be near a library and a community center. When I put it all together, Kerrisdale starts to look very appealing. It's calm, it's refined, and everything you need is close. This is where you move when convenience matters more than chaos. Picking the best neighborhood to live is less about trends and more about where you are at in your life. Who you are right now and who you're becoming next plays a big role in where you should live. Planning accordingly will ensure that you are in the right place at the right time, and that will ultimately lead to a happy life in a happy home. So what do you think of my list? Where would you move to in Vancouver today? Tell me in the comment section. Hopefully this information helped you think more clearly about where you might want to live in Vancouver. If you are thinking about moving, upgrading, or even just wondering which area actually fits your life, that is exactly the type of conversation I would love to have. Send me an email to info@happyhomesvancouver.com or send a text message to 778-688-6838. If you found this video helpful and want to see more of it, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel or share with a friend so that you can help us help more people. Again, my name is Simon Liu, and I am here to serve you here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.